Okay, so it is recording, yes. And it is 6/9/2025. And, we've got a big patch coming up. And I wanted to kind of get together to go through the recruitment. I have talked to Koff about what transpired and how urgent or things are. This one's high. Hunter is high. So
I thought we had a hunter that we were never mind, that's irrelevant.
Well,
That's to be seen.
To be seen.
Yeah.
So I haven't done anything for profits in a long time, but really for profits, majorly it's DPS. I would just like to find DPS, right? I think even the healers we are good on. This is a problem that, quite frankly, I never thought I would have. In the entirety of WoW, I just never thought I would be missing DPS in two teams. Like, it has always traditionally been healers that are like the biggest issue.
No, I've been there.
Yes, so tanks maybe sometimes, but not often. But because there's only a couple spots. You need
so many fewer of them. So
yes, right. But healers traditionally have been a very difficult recruitment area because people find healing boring, right? Which that has changed since coming back to the War Within, even last season. I feel like healing is actually in a really good spot overall. It is difficult. It is difficult, but I feel like overall, that concept of healers are for girls or healers are boring or all that kind of stuff has kind of been put to bed. Especially with some prominent YouTubers and streamers and things like that have chosen to go the healer route, and they have made it very, very technical and complex. The other thing I'm a little bit apprehensive about that I know is coming is the deprecation of add-ons in its entirety. Now
we're not going to completely lose them, but we are going to lose some amount of combat knowledge.
Yes, so I feel this isn't going to happen for a while, if it even does, because I think that the community at large is just going to bark about this, and but I definitely see how it could be good and all that good stuff. So I don't know how that's going to fare, but I don't think we have to worry about that for a while. So I have updated at least the Olympians here. We need 2 warlocks. We lost both our warlocks to real life complications and or other issues.
Sure.
And we're about to lose a mage. Nyletha has conflicts from 610 going forward due to taking summer classes for college that fall on a certain date, and he has so we are going to have to bench him for Tuesdays. He can't come, but he will be benched for Thursdays. And in the meantime, my husband Jake can fill in for that with Easy Pie, which is actually one of his favorite characters. So,
sure,
right, baby.
Yeah.
I think we have upped the requirement to 676 for minimum item level. Because that's just, as we go through this. So that's been upped. In the roster, we have 4 spots open. Again, the mage, the hunter, the warrior, and 2 warlocks. This warrior can also be something else. It could also be a priest. It could also be, whatever. I have a feeling that demonic or Hakkasan is going to flip into his druid.
Okay.
And
his druid is currently Boom, and he didn't seem to really love that, but Boom was very good for most of the season.
Yeah. So he kind of wants to go kitty, which is different than what Koff wants, right? So, but if he can do both very well, I think both can really have a place. So if he can kind of be a flex between those 2 DPS specs. And then I think Carnal is going to want to flip over to his shaman.
Okay.
I'm not wild about your target level is now, what is it? 678? Oh yeah, way past that. Okay. 678, so now we have 630. And that is for Sprocket. And so I feel like we're trying to build this bench. I think I've gone ahead and put Patty on that bench. Solar is probably not going to be able to keep up with that. I've put Viz, Dormy, and Tiz as bench. Brave, because you could still fill in here and there. Nature Pal is a swap. Fell Shadow is a swap.
For Fell Shadow with Fell.
And actually Buddy is a flex. So where he could flex back into Holy Disc. And to be fair, I mean, I don't want to lose I'm going to say this. I don't want to lose the priest. I like Carnal. That makes it 3 priests, which is 3 PIs. That's fine. I know Buddy does probably would prefer to heal. I'm speaking for you.
I feel like I'm bigger impact as a healer. I can't parse, man. Like I'm trying so hard. I'm just not getting to. I mean, Cardinal's like 5 eye levels lower than me, and I kind of have the same, stats now as him. But man, I just can't do it like he does. I have my little spurts, but I'm not consistent enough. I feel like.
Yeah, and then if Cardinal drops the shadow, and we could potentially put your warrior in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I wouldn't mind, but then we'd only have 1 PI. And I don't know how critical PI is, but I think in some instances where you're trying to get ads down real fast or things like that, I think it does come in quite useful.
Yeah, sure. But look, if we're looking fight to fight on Sprocket, PI is just a straight DPS burst. There's no time thing you have to do with it.
Yeah, it's just on cooldown kind of thing.
Right. So if we're sacrificing DPS on, if Buddy could do much better on
Holy
on Jim Bob, then that's a straight trade-off.
Yeah. Even that, right? So there's room for movement, is what I'm saying. Yeah. None of our druids right now can really flex into other specs, nor do they really have viable characters to swap. I know Mez, he does Resto and Little House on that shaman. He doesn't. I know Valkia is very much the same way. He does not do Shadow. He does not do Holy either, which is kind of interesting because you would think. I mean, but there's people who just have grown up on the discipline spec, and that's their spec, right? Um, I don't really know who else can flex other than He Buddy. I think I think that's one of your strengths. Is that you can flex almost to all specs and do reasonably well. But your primary is Holy.
Yeah.
I know that.
There's also something too holy too. I mean, I know that the druids doesn't want to DPS, but having like a disc holy combo, I mean, I like it personally because disc prevents and then holy reacts.
Yeah, absolutely. So my problem is it's just it's okay. Who do I sit out? Because we don't need more than 4 healers on this team. Period.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like I said, I've always said, I don't mind DPSing at all. Like, if that's what we need.
I know, but it's not. It wouldn't be efficient if we lost Carnal to put in Oprah. Even though I know Oprah's output is going to be hella good.
I suppose it's just if the output of having a shaman outweighs the PI, plus you keep the mastery.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is something that's very reasonable. That I think is is reasonable even just to keep one priest. You need one at minimum because you need fortitude. Right.
Yeah.
So we already get the mastery buff though from Yagi.
Oh yeah,
So unless we were planning to flex Mez to something else, that doesn't really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, it may just outdo the PI increase anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, would you say that your DPS output on Jim Bob is higher than He Buddy's?
Depends on the fight. Like I feel like I can AOE better with Jim Bob. Buddy, if I'm single target, I can get up there to top 5 DPS.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So like Sprocket would totally be a fight where we want to keep He Buddy if we could over Jim Bob. I think. Yeah. Like there's so much in that fight where it's like you can't be standing there, and like sometimes you can't do melee, but range would always have an advantage.
Yeah. Like I do well over Sprocket with Buddy.
Yeah. What item level is?
We'll say that.
What item level is He Buddy now? I think he's a little higher than 680.
679, 680 technically.
All right. I thought last I checked it was 680. What about Jim Bob?
676, I think.
Okay, so it's close.
Fury, if my memory serves me correctly, Fury does gangbusters on Sprocket.
Yeah.
I agree.
I just hate being so close to him because I usually get targeted with that thing, and I screw up the whole raid.
Yeah, and I mean to really like swap out, versus flexing, right? To really swap out, it requires you to have like both of those characters ready, like quick flip of, true. It's there's some complications to that, swapping type of thing, but you tell me what you want, but I know that I'm looking at flipping demonic to his druid, and I personally think he should absolutely go kitty because he does his best in kitty.
Yeah.
Boomkin's boring, but there are fights where Boomkin, again, it's that flex thing, right? So I feel like there would be situations where if there's 2 bosses, right, that we would need Rick Reverb maybe and Styx, right? Bunk Junker. And those are the only 2 that we flip into Boomkin, and the rest we do Kitty. Because I feel like Kitty is I mean, this Torch guy, one of our guildies, Torch. I mean, we took him out the other day, and boy, he was pumping on that kitty, bro. Like, what? Right? So I feel like that would be a really good swap out. And, I mean, Hakkasan, he gets bored of his characters often. I know him, so.
There
he
true?
is.
Okay.
He does. He's told me that.
I'll go, kitty.
I get it though. You feel like you kind of like spin in a circle sometimes if you keep playing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I play like oh shit, I'm gonna die. Like a ton of alts.
Mm-hmm. That's fun.
Just for that same reason, because I'll quit the game. I've quit this game so many times.
Yeah. So and I think you
gotta keep it fun.
Yeah, and I think to be fair, I think Oprah is the same way. Where he, he'll play something for a while and then he's like, oh my God, I dread logging on. Right? If Carnal can flip to his shaman, Demonic can flip to his druid, because he has a druid.
Sure do.
I think that's a good flip. And maybe if if needed, we could flip he buddy onto Jim Bob, have you take that warrior spot, and then just have Buddy as a swap, right? And again, Carnal would be a swap just the same too. So you'd still have those characters could technically still be available. Yeah. So that's kind of like the situation. So now, we do have someone that I talked to earlier, this Leith guy. Beautiful parses, by the way, guys. Like,
those look incredible.
I'm like, wow, right? It's just look at this number. Look at this number.
Top
I mean,
300
wow.
That's heroic. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
And Mythic, he hasn't had, one thing that he told me and he was very honest about, he's like, in Mythic, he hasn't killed things very much. And he's like, my first kill on something, it's terrible. And I said, your terrible is 2.5 million. I'm like, your terrible is 2.5 million DPS. Let's fucking go. Right? And he's like, yeah, I'm terrible. When I first 5 or so kills, and then it gets better from there, which is evident here, right? Where he's killed Vexy quite a lot, and he has 11 kills under his belt, and now he's pumping 3.6, right? So the thing with him is his guild is on dormant status. They didn't finish Nerebar, and they didn't finish Liberation, okay? So they are, and he doesn't quite really like their schedule either. And so they've kind of gone dormant. And my question is, thanks for the info, because do I then target some of these people to see about coming over?
I mean, that's interesting. And also, I would ask him, I wouldn't just look at the parses, I'd ask him, like, was there anybody else in the guild who still wanted to be playing, who's still around, who you're friends with?
Yeah. So my thought process was to, kind of dig a little deeper. He did say he enjoyed them. They're great. He is European. He's from Romania. He lives here in California. And so, all the things. Yeah. And he says that the GM over there is also from Romania. And, if they should reform for season 3 or something, he did tell me up front he might go back to them.
Fair enough. I mean, it's it's.
I appreciated the front load of the honesty, right? But if he likes us more, he'll stay.
It's an opportunity. It's like it's a no hard feelings thing. It's
Yeah.
He's searching for somewhere where he had a social group that,
It was had
he's socially
commonalities
right.
and things like that. Right. So I'm not opposed to him, but he was real honest, real fun to talk to, super chummy. I love people like that. Not at all as rough around the edges as Cloud. um, you know, but because that didn't work out for me. So I'm willing. I said I'm willing to give you a trial. I told him, I said I'd like to run you through heroic to see how that goes. And when I showed Cough, he was like, I don't think he needs to go to heroic at all, right? Like, So I'm like, okay, if you want to take him, that's fine. But he's very interested. Just really solid in that. Let me come back here. Really solid in that. I did tell Cough, so hey, so you want him, do you want him to do the thing? Anyway, so I think he might actually take him. He wanted to take Funshine.
I was gonna say I thought Funshine had potential there, but
I think Funshine's still very new.
Sure.
And I mean, if let me come over here for a minute. If I go into Chrome King, if I look, I mean, he's 2.2 ish.
What was this on?
This was on the Prophets. Gallywix.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So if I could change this, and let's go to the one where it's like the metrics are Vexy. Vexy's always the sit and pump kind of thing, right?
It's funny because Vexy's my worst relative because I know we're gonna kill it anyway, and I just want anyway. Never mind. I don't want the extra spec sitting in there to optimize for it to accidentally screw up and select it when I don't. So I just don't even custom spec it.
Yeah. I mean, in Vexy, I mean, my husband was right up there with Nyletha, so But of course, I mean, these are numbers that these things are. This is a very static fight.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the patchwork of our current season.
For range, yes. For melee, there's a lot more running around chasing after that.
The bikes and stuff like that, right? Yeah. Funshine did good. 3.2, that's reasonable.
Yep.
So to me, I was like, okay, that's really nice. If I go over to Whitefest and I go over to WoW Analyzer, actually, I can get it from here. Let me see. Demigods, Olympians. Dun, 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 dun. Did we not have a freaking thing in here? Ay. Okay, let me go back to this report.
So when do you think we're going to get the patch 11.2 preview? I'm guessing in the next week or two.
11.2.
Because I think once they launch 11.1.7, the next thing's going to be 11.2. So that's when. So I'm just asking because when they announce the next raid tier, that's going to probably kick a lot of interest one way or the other.
Yeah. I think once they release 11.1.7, I think that's probably when we'll start seeing that in PTR.
With a few days of that's when I assume they're going to officially tell us what it is and whatnot.
Yeah. All right. So let me take a look at the players here. And actually, let's take a look at Funshine. This is now basically
I mean, he executed mechanics real well according to that. mean,
I do mechanics pretty well.
Sure. So I'm not saying he did better than you. I'm just saying, that's like, look, Goff's only got a 62 on mechanics, focused on that DPS, all standing and fire.
Yeah.
I mean, if I think is for Mythic specifically, if you can execute mechanics really well, everything else comes after. So I'd say that's a great sign.
So let's take a look because
that would put us at 300 between the two of them themselves.
Yeah. So I think so let's go through cooldowns. Okay. Let's go through overview. Okay, like overview. Come down here. It's going to tell you. Okay, enchants.
He ain't got no boot enchant on.
Frenzy. 91% efficiency is really nice. We can take a look at the timeline. Kind of run
focus
through
rate
that.
is incredibly good too.
Yeah, that focus one is pretty good. I mean, he's certainly far better than solar. I love solar to death. I mean, come on. But we all know.
Tiz's expertise on hunters because I've seen how many hunters Tiz has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know something about hunters, but
yeah. So, not terrible here. Statistics, let's take a look at that. Okay, again, this is Vexy, so very standing, standing there. Not terrible. I think you could. I mean, we could give him a chance, but he is nowhere near Leaf as far as output. But he's also not.
Anyway, to some degree, that's
672. Yeah, he's 672, so it's very it's very iffy, right? So
I know it's only been a second since you've been talking to that Leaf, but do they seem like the type that would be willing to hand out pointers on?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay,
he said he was doing that. Yeah, he said he was doing that. So that's really good. Yeah, for sure. So let me select a different poll. Let me go down to.
More range is good.
And just to be clear, by that we don't mean sending specs to random people with them. Anyway, never mind. Never mind.
Well, I mean, just genuine. Here's what if you do this, it'll do much better for you, sort of stuff.
Sure. No,
instead of you have to do this.
Yeah. I mean, see, and this is what I expect on Chrome King. Everybody's around 60, where Funshine is not. But he hasn't had a lot of time on that.
I was gonna say, but he's probably only done Chrome once or twice. Your numbers are gonna be lower the first few kills because.
No, first few kills. I mean, it's not even just 2 kills. It's, Yeah. So I think he does good, but I just don't. I don't think that he is.
Maybe next season.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, I told you and Laura this too, Lewis. I said, when you come back to this game after a very long absence, it really is going to take you a couple of seasons to get reacquainted and reacclaimed.
Has Sunshine been in any of the Mythic Raid nights as a bench or anything?
Nope.
Would it be worth taking?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we were thinking. Is really putting him on the bench.
Yeah.
Right. So.
That's way to see if it'll work out.
I mean, I definitely say that he's cleared for that. Yeah. So I think that's going to be something. So let me just go ahead and do that, and we will.
And realistically, Salve's had attendance problems, so it's pretty likely we're a like for hunter substitution is not.
I heard Laura in the background. She's giggling over there.
She's not in the room right now. She walked away for a second.
Okay.
Oh, me, sorry.
Oh, was that you? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. That's actually positive.
No, I think there's no dig at Salve. I'm just saying, having a hunter on the bench to replace the hunter who sometimes can't come is a completely. It's nice to be able to do like for like swaps. Obviously, we have composition flexibility in some ways. But when you add in somebody and then you have to swap 3 people just to compensate, it's it's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Finally get an eye level boost myself this week. I cleared my 12 so I can get a mythic pacemaker, but I'm going to wait till I see my vault in case it drops now, because it will. You just know that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So as far as Salve is concerned, I mean, he has been, like I said, he has been pretty consistent for the majority of his time until recently, and that
right. But like you said, he had a job schedule change. And other
yes,
stuff
he did.
That was no dig meant at him. That like if he's here all the time, then the bench doesn't need to be pulled. It's just like
But I kind of like, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I kind of like the idea of people knowing that there's somebody down in the lower trenches there looking to take their spot.
It's a motivator.
So I'm kind of like into that. But yeah, so I think that's the change that we want to do is we want to put demonic on tactical. I'll get this updated, but I think we want to put you on tactical. What item level is he, Hagasan?
667.
okay.
I have like 40 gilded crests.
Okay.
It's got what? How many mythic pieces? 1, 2.
And then I took Oprah to a 10 with me, and I was like, how? Like you know what I mean? Like just how? Because he was doing like 3.7, bro. I was like, how?
Well, he played. He played Oprah last season, right? So I mean, he was good. Like he knows
for sure.
Hand shaman spec.
For sure.
Like
for sure.
It's just
for sure.
They destroyed him in the very beginning of the season. So
yeah, no, totally. I listen. I totally get that. I totally get that.
Return of the King.
What is Tactical's item level now? 6 what?
667. I can get him to 6-7. Yeah,
oh, that's rough, my dude.
All
right. But Feral, balance, and what your boy Koff is gonna say. I need you in balance.
Which is fine because that's how I play him in Mythics.
Well, yeah, but I know that I personally, I'm telling you, bro. I've seen the kitty DPS, and I'm like, how? Okay, so yeah. No, they're pumping. All right.
The kitty's good.
Yeah, for sure. And so I'm thinking we can swap Buddy out, and put him on the warrior. Bud. Is that something that you're okay with, or like?
No, I'm totally chill. I mean, I'm just there for the rain.
What I will say about that is, question, because I don't remember. Hawk, is demonic enhancement or elemental?
No, he's elemental.
Okay, we are swapping 2 range for 2 melee in this rearrangement.
How many range do we have right now?
I can say if we're overweight range, then that's great. If we're not, then Koff might have something to say about that.
Well, we got our Devastation Invoker in there. We've got another Hunter. We get another Mage. Yeah. Well, I mean, this one's a straight up. He's gonna probably be balanced first. Fury. Feral. Yeah. So this is a straight 1-for-1.
Just only track of. It's not. I'm not objecting. But
yeah. But switching Buddy. But switching Buddy from ranged into that's gonna be. switching Carnal from ranged into melee, that is going to make us melee heavy for sure.
Yeah, because that's 2 right there, and then if and when we move tactical from balance to kitty, that's a plus. That's a net swing. -3 and +3. That's a net swing 6. In the direction. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, I guess it's also doing melee's probably, especially on Mythic Sprocket, a bit worse because you're stacking. And although maybe not, maybe that's you're closer to the opposite charge, the other melee on the opposite charge. But not right out, so it's not an obstacle course. There's less garbage for the bomb runners, avoiding other people's stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, World First Sprocket had 7 melee.
Yeah.
World First Sprocket was also 662. They had a lot of other things going for them.
Oh, I'm just saying, if it didn't affect them that badly for the stacking.
Sure. No, I'm thinking about more. I think it's probably better because I certainly had some going. To be fair, it was our first attempt. I had one where I'm ready for the bomb, and there's 2 ranges standing blocking the bomb, and I'm just like, guys, I know you can't see each other's circles, but why are you on this panel?
Yeah.
If we're all thinking that won't happen.
Yeah. All right. Let me up these, and then we're gonna have to get this information. Because I know he wants to. I mean, he's just like Hakkasan in that sense. He doesn't like. It's been months on this character, and he's itching. I understand that. I'm totally cool with that. Let me come over here. Go back over here. Where's that druid? Druid?
I'm on him right now.
Let me see.
Coughing up fur balls.
Those are officers. Okay, Hakkasan. Where the fuck is the damn druid? Is he not? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Mangina's been parsing pretty well for me too. I'm having fun with him.
Yeah. Is that who you want
to bring? I mean, I'm still on a melee, and I mean, we need the druid, right? I mean, that's kind of like.
I just want you to be on a character you're going to be happy with for the next couple of months before you hit me up for a switch again.
Yeah, I mean, tactical. Well, I mean, a balanced druid's needed for sticks. There's no way around.
There's no way around that. Yeah.
There's no way around that. We need to have someone readily available.
Yeah.
As a balanced druid.
And neither or pretty want to flex to it.
Yeah, either our kit, Critty or Athena flexing what you're saying. They don't want to, so it kind of puts us in a spot.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. It's just we have healers that don't flex either way, right? So,
I mean,
all of them are pretty static, right? He-Buddy's the only one. My whole thing is just putting Buddy in a spot where, he's gonna get bored.
I mean, I don't really care. I mean, I like the funness of figuring out how to beat the raid, not really specific characters, I guess.
Yeah.
I just know, strengths-wise, I think I do better as a healer than I do a DPSer.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't care playing either one.
Yeah. And the other thing is he's 669. Okay. I mean, there's just some people who have less time to really devote to locking in the. I mean, I hate this. I really do, guys. Okay, but that's just the reality. The reality is that you need myth gear to kill myth bosses. Yep. At least we do, right? Because we have a lot of people that, can't really keep up with that. So I don't know, Oprah and Tactical, you're gonna have to tap him on the shoulder and say, "Let's go," because he needs the push. Hakkasan, he needs the push. Otherwise, he just doesn't push. But we need to get these numbers up, these 2 numbers up. They can't be read. Really can't be read. So then that leaves me with, Hunter Mage, 2 Warlocks, and a Druid, and a Warrior. Or, I could, do another Death Knight. That too.
I'm going around. I think.
And I could do Mangina, but I mean, if we find another Druid, I would no problem doing my DK. I think he out DPSs in raid better than my Druid currently.
Mm-hmm.
And he's set up he's got mythic weapons. He's gotten lucky in the guild vault. That little bastard.
I think also if we're trying to figure out what we're trying to recruit, it's pretty clear to me that everything we've been talking about, we don't have a mage and we don't have a warlock, and both of those are very significant in terms of raid buffs
Gates.
and utility.
Mm-hmm. So clearly soul stones, health stones. So
health stones, buns, arcane ints, and some portals.
Mm-hmm.
Very clearly, what's coming to me out of this is warlock and mage are priorities.
Yeah.
And I think that we're still sorting through what exactly our composition is, but nothing discussed has anybody able to flex any of those, except for Sips, who could bring either.
Right, but you know what, but Jake really enjoys, and I'm speaking for you, Jake, but Jake really enjoys being on the bench because he, like Hakkasan, like Oprah, and probably even worse than you two, my husband has gamer ADD. He likes to switch up the characters and all that kind of stuff. And I literally had the hardest time getting Jake to go, "Who's your main?" He's like, "All 4," right? So
no judgment on that. But the point is, he wants to run on the bench, and right now he's coming, and we appreciate it. But ultimately, what we basically have is we want a major warlock, and we kind of have 2 halves of one, of one half. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One or the other, and yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's correct. So, and honestly, being on benches, having the ability to have a bench in the first place is really critical. I need to be able to, pull from that. But yeah, that's where we are in recruitment. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what I did up here. What I did up here, I created a guild management forum. And in here, I put, I put certain topics that I had in this big long sheet, and it was it's kind of harder to find. This is easier to find, I think.
Sure. I see there's a topic for each thing, like onboarding, email setup, etc.
Right. So, first of all, I wanted to know if you guys got all your emails set up.
I haven't. Like I said, this is the busiest work week of the year for me in the lead up to this, so I've been kind of under it.
Totally. Got it. No problem there. Okay, so that is in progress. Okay. What about Laura?
Yeah, sorry, I'm moving the iPad so she can hear better. Okay.
Did it not work for her? Or?
No, I haven't logged in yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. So new member onboarding, right? So when a new member joins the guild, I was debating. So here's the question number 1 around this topic is, I was debating as to whether I turn off open invites and leave it to raid leaders and above.
Have we had issues with people inviting problem people?
Not necessarily problem people, but what we are having issues with is people getting invited and they get lost because none of us know that they've been invited.
That makes sense.
Right?
Is there a way to see new people in Discord?
Yeah, we had a bunch of them in the heroic raid the other night. I'm like, who the hell are you?
Laura was asking if there's a way to see new people in Discord, but I just want to say, people are getting random G invites in game.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be they're not even on the Discord.
Okay.
So I don't think that's kind of...
Okay. Yeah.
Like, if you scroll through the logs, you can see that there's a G invite, but like sometimes you log in, there's a couple pages of guild chat, and you don't necessarily go back and read it all, and there's a guild join in the middle of it, you know?
Yeah. So there is a new warlock, I do believe. Leave this here, okay. I do believe there's a new warlock. This guy wanted to just raid Pana. He just wants to be AOTC, which is fine by me. Mm-hmm. The Shadow Deals guy didn't work out. So he was running on his boomkin. It wasn't that great. It just didn't work out. But Leith, I'm actually kind of excited about. Let me see what is going on. New member chat. Leatherworking. Okay. So I didn't quite know if that's the case, but yeah. So number one, my question is, what do you guys think? Should we just still leave it open for invites from anyone?
For
leave it open if they can
guild?
I think that if we do leave it open, we're not going to solve the issue of just not knowing about it. I think that any process you do, it's very hard to enforce process, right? So if someone forgets to do this, they'll do it in the middle of the night. They won't put it in a note. We just don't know who they are. So I think if you want to gate it to officers, it makes it a lot easier to be like, look, if you invite people,
these are the steps, right, that you got to take, right?
Like at a minimum, right in the officer note, like 2025 join date and whatever. Like it'll give us something to track it back to.
Yeah.
There's certainly that. I think that all things to do, there are a lot of officers relative to active members, so I think that like it shouldn't be too hard to find somebody to do it. Right. So, because like the risk is like, oh, there was an officer on, and I lost this person, and you know.
Yeah.
But,
what do you? Mez, you're here. I see that. What are your thoughts? Should we just leave it like it is?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the point of that was to just, hey, invite your friends.
Right.
Unless that's,
I mean, I haven't really had it's not been problematic, right? Like it's not, the only problem I have is just tracking, right? And getting people to download all the right things and get them onto the spreadsheet and, those kinds of things. That's really been it. But eventually, I mean, if they're going to raid with us or whatever, or if they're going to do on Plus, I mean, eventually they're going to come into the Discord anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So that was my question I wanted to pose. I think the answer to that is let's leave it as is for now. But
sure.
Walking through the process of, like, say you guys are online and somebody new comes in and just like Leith did, hey, at leaders, I think that's what he did, was checking in from battle.net. Okay, so the rating forums. And so he came in, and that like when someone comes in like this and you have a chat with them, we want to get them into the Discord. We want to rename their Discord ID to so that it matches their character names. I think that's something, and mind you, anybody can do that. So you just right click, and again, you can even do this. Let me come over here. Like you can do this here, right? Like you can come down here. Hold on. You can come down here and just we're gonna put him as friends, right? You can change nickname, and you can change their nickname, right? So that's certainly easy to do. I think the second step in that. Sorry. Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. Awesome. The other thing that I was looking to do. So we want to make sure they're tagged. I'm going to come back over here. Guild management. Okay. You want to make sure that they're tagged, their nicknames changed. I did give you guys a link into how to do that. So it's like here, change nickname, etc. So, and then it's pointing them to the guild info channel, which of course, that is where we have all of the recommended add-ons, the link to our master spreadsheet is there, etc., etc. We do want to try to get them onto the spreadsheet. I for just tracking purposes, it is just something that's important, I think. And the game just does not do a good job of guild management. Like it just never has. And then just so you know that when they request access to the spreadsheet, I am the only one that can approve that because it's tied to a centralized, it's tied to the Google account for TLP.
Yeah.
So, which I don't necessarily want to share with everyone, but Sips can also use my account, obviously. He just needs to turn on my computer and come down here, and he has access to do that. So, all right. And then so we want to make sure that we're getting them to the guild info. We're getting them on the spreadsheet. Now, if you wanted to, you could, and Laura's available. You can point them to Laura. Laura, you can have and I think it's good for people to kind of get to know all the officers and what they do and whatever. Right. So if I, for some reason, am not online for a long time or whatever, and Laura's online and she's got someone that, say, Lewis just recruited, Lewis could say, hey, let me introduce you to my beautiful wife. She's also an officer, and she does all the guild management stuff. And if you wanted to, you could input that character in, and kind of go through that process with that person, Laura. So
I think you do that. Yes.
Yeah. Right. So that would be helpful. I do kind of want to try to get as many people as we can into that. I kind of often I do go through that, and I do clean house, right? Like if I see a character that hasn't been logged in a while, and I don't see notes and I don't see people tied to them or whatever, I G-kick, right? And also just pointing them to the reaction roles. I really want to try to get people, specifically the professions and the classes, and if anybody wants to do PvP, that would be fabulous. I don't know why I didn't do that. But yeah, like, getting through the roles, getting through the classes, getting into M+, all of that I think is pretty necessary. So we want to get them into the reaction roles. Come back over here. And then there are the tags that they can't assign themselves. And those two at minimum, okay, is at TLP. At TLP has all of the permissions, okay? And at TLP trial, these are basically your guild ranks, the real guild ranks, okay? And so everybody's a trial for 30 days. After that, they can be full members. And they can be retagged. Now, that is a guild management option, so this is more like Laura, right? So we kind of have all these things. This is 30 days. This is 6 months before you get to be a senior member, and you basically stay at senior member for a very long time, because this right here is reserved for people who are cross gamers and have been with us for more than 2 years. So, I mean, and by cross gamers, I mean they play various different chapters with us. So that's going to be more or less on you, but anybody should at minimum tag those 2 ranks. Okay. And then the other ones they can pick up themselves, and also by tagging them this, if they are raiders, okay? If they are raiders, then they're going to need to be tagged. Let me just, they're going to need to, I'm going to come over here and grab another one because I don't want to read this. They're going to need to be tagged with the normal raid to start. And so that is here. So I do have all of that separated. I have normal, heroic, and mythic. Basically, if they come in, I mean, normal is not something we give like a whole lot about, but everybody can come to the normal raid. There's no requirements. There's no real minimum except item level, like 626, which is freaking easy to attain. For people that are looking to, if they're good enough for mythic, they will be required to run the heroic raid with us at least for 1 week. At that point, they can then be added to the heroic role. Okay.
What right now that we have these openings, would we just try and run someone right now straight in?
I mean, it depends. Like if I'm looking at logs like the one from Leith, right? I'm looking at logs like that. That to me is a different story. I might, like I said, we might make exceptions for people. That's not a hard and core.
Logs they can run the first week.
Yeah, I just think we should be more pro risk right now that we are struggling to make a roster to do the raid. Right?
I mean, I think the punchline is, and Maria, if I'm wrong, we will obviously take somebody week 1 before we cancel a raid for attendance.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. I'm just talking about the onboarding, right? We don't know someone, right? We don't know anybody. So if someone comes in here saying, I want to be part of the mythic team, well, they get the heroic role and they have to run the heroic with us at least 1 week, right? We don't know you from Adam, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And then it's the same thing for heroic. Like if they're good and if they want to come in here and go, I want to be part of the AOTC team, guess what? You got to run the normal first. I am no longer just taking logs at someone's word. Like I mean we've seen what that can happen. Like this is different. Yeah. This is very different, right? Like I see fucking, 11 kills here, and I can see that he upped as he went forward, right? Like that's easy to see that this guy is legit. But there has been some where it's not that case, and we don't know anybody from Adam. They don't have logs, or they don't want to show you logs, that's a different situation, okay? But no one should be placed at the mythic level without first consulting the raid leaders, senior officers, CGMs, or GM. And I would even beg to say it's really up to the raid leaders. It's going to be up to Hakusan and Koff, right? Because they know how to read. They know how to read these logs better than I do. That's for sure. So I definitely want to hold off on giving anyone the mythic role, but everybody can have the normal role. There's no problems with that. Now, we do have some people that come in here just for the M+, right? They're dungeoneers. They're not looking to raid. We have a few of them. There's not a whole lot of them. So they just do this, and then they just use their own self-taggable roles, right? But sure. Basically, anyone that comes in should just have these 2 roles at minimum. And then, Laura, you and I are gonna have to kind of go in and look. I did update the full members and stuff like that. And I think what I want to do in the Discord is start kind of going through and matching that with the roles. So we're going to have a sit down to do that.
Okay.
And there's an admin role also for Discord that I think I'll give to Laura so she can also do that job. But basically, I just wanted to kind of run through this. Like, what are the important things? We want the Discord ID to match. We want them to get on the WoW master spreadsheet somehow. We want them to get download the required add-ons. We want to point them towards the reaction roles, point them towards WoW audit, walk people through this thing. So get real familiar with this as much as you can, and know that people, when they're uploading their wish list, they do have to be added to the WoW audit roster, or it doesn't take them. And this here, you guys, anybody that's an officer, I do believe.
So when I went in WoW audit,
admin
day, I clicked on the admin button. It said permission not allowed. So it's not just being an officer.
I think it is also this right here. This is you, Death Stringer? Who's Death Stringer?
That's me.
That's Brave. Okay, so you should be able to log in to this as admin. So what it is this this link. Hold on. Copy link. I'll have you guys add this now. And I'll just send it independently because I know Mez, you can log into this as admin, right?
Log into what? I'm sorry.
To the WoW audit.
Oh, I think so. I mean, I log into it, I update it and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if it's effective, but
yeah, Hakusan, I got you. If you can click on that link, because that link only works for 24 hours.
You're talking about the desktop application,
or the browser? No, the browser. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've logged into it, but
right.
The desktop thing I keep open all the time.
Yeah, that's the other thing is getting that.
You can only log into the desktop app if you have that account. Like, I can't log into the desktop app.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, then there we go.
All right. Okay. All right. So I've just sent you guys that link. If you can click it and follow it, that would be fantastic.
Should we use our guild emails?
You can. I mean, if you have that set up, because you have to get this link changes. It's only valid for 24 hours. It expires at midnight. So basically, you've got to do it now. So if your account isn't updated for it, it's yeah. I would say it's your Google account that you guys use. I mean, I don't share this with anybody. This doesn't get shared with anybody. So,
a lot that I was interested in figuring out was the onboarding stuff. So
yeah.
now I know what to hit them with when people show up.
The other thing, Lewis, you, me, and Brave, we gotta get a little better about bumping this thread and keeping this thread up. Yeah. So like I was just thinking of maybe like taking a couple of days, like, hey, I'll do Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then maybe Brave will do Wednesdays and Fridays or something like that.
Sure.
Something like
that. Make that work.
Wednesdays and Fridays, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, and just kind of put an alarm for it to like remind us. But I mean, that should be all of us trying to pull that up and putting that into the stuff. Do I have those on here? Master spreadsheet, community discords, WoW audits. Okay, I'll make a new forum post for this. New post. Let's do TLP recruitment, forums, external. So we will do that. And if you guys, we got to keep that all the way up all the time, because now is where people are starting to recruit for the next season.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah, I've been trying to keep up on it. I've got to set my alarm for it proper, but Wednesday and Friday, if I set it just for those 2 days, that should be no problem.
Okay. All right, cool. That'd be great. That way, there's always someone. And then the other thing about that too, guys, is actually going to that thread. What I like to do is I like to come out here into guild recruitment, and I look at the new posts. Ooh, warlock. Ooh, warlock. Ooh, warlock.
679 too.
Yeah. It's Ryoko. Oh
no! It just has the same name.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Hours past 9 p.m. EST, I believe that we fit that.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Keys and get Keystone Legend with, that's us.
That's us. Yeah. And guys, I also have like a kind of like a canned response, if you will. You can build your own. What I like to do is I like to copy and paste, and then I'll change the name and go, hey, Ryo, go. And hopefully, that works. But yeah, so going in there and just, getting that there, replying to that, and also just making sure you include our original post here into that somewhere. And then WoW especially does not allow you to put links, so you got to do discord.gg like this. Yeah. Yeah, so you gotta kind of do the same thing as this, so you gotta kind of like be creative with it. But yeah, you guys can kind of look at that and see how that goes. And then I typically go through new, and it's like prot warrior. Oh man. The tanks, bro. The tanks.
Everybody wants to play tanks now.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I could use a bench tank, but that's probably with Fury off spec. Okay.
Hey, that's not bad.
Last guild I was in got defeated by the roster boss. Man, that hits home.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, that might be an easy one to say. It's like, hey, we don't want to lose to that either.
Mm-hmm. I'm available for any day and time for raid. Okay. Let's put that to the test. Nerd. Dreadgex. Okay. So yeah, so that's kind of what I do. Just keeping it when you post a reply, just come back and click on new If it's just guilds putting in their stuff, just clear that. There's also like replies. You'll see like there's another tag up here when there's a reply to something you've. Half the time it's somebody else posting right after you recruiting, right? So the new ones is kind of where I look mostly. But yeah, a lot of people are 3 of 8, 3 of 8. Very few are a little higher than that. 5-8, 5-8, 4-8. This one's 2-8. So we're not terribly off. So I'm new and needed a guild. Okay. So yeah, just kind of peruse and see what you guys can do. That'd be great if you get it just a couple days. Or if you can only do one, that's fine too. I'll
do my one thing. I'll check it out on those days.
Okay, that's perfect. All right, that's all I got. Any questions at all for me?
No, I'm getting my account set up right now.
Okay.
I just got my mail account set up, but I matched up as a web mail, and then I'll go and accept the link you sent.
All right, sounds great. All right, well, go ahead, Laura.
I published the post. Sorry for the delay there. I forgot that I was trying to figure out how to do the broadcasting you showed me, and I just can't see the option. I don't know if I have the right permissions or if I'm like missing it.
Okay, let me see.
I can share my screen if you want to see what I'm seeing or.
All right, so just a second.
Yep.
Because if I show it to you, you should be able to see it. So in the posts,
I couldn't even see broadcast options. Not like I couldn't click here. I just couldn't even see the options.
So in here, you scroll down, and it's probably like this. Yeah. So, what happened? Where'd it go? Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay. So it's probably minimized, right? Like this tag right here. Do you not see that at all? If you open it up. Did I lose connection?
No, you're still here.
No. Okay. Am I still broadcasting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Laura, do you see this section that says broadcast or no?
Did they lose connection?
Maybe they did.
Maybe they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Real quickly, I have one other question. I can't see that guild management channel with the onboarding process stuff. Is that just because it's a different rank?
No. That is more than likely, you not having all your channels showing. So if you look on this here, right? You click on TLP World of Warcraft. You want to make sure that this right here that says show all channels is checked.
There it is. Excellent. Okay. That's what I needed to know so I can refer to the onboarding thing when I need it.
Yeah.
Because my memory is really bad.
Yeah. No. Totally. So that should help you guys.
Okay, sorry.
Absolutely.
Did you lose connection?
We just had technical challenges, user errors over here.
Okay, so in any of these here, so can you see my screen, Laura?
Yeah.
Okay, so in any of these, you should have something that's called broadcast.
I just don't. What I have. Can you see what I'm sharing?
No. Hold on.
Okay, here.
Let me. Signature options. Okay. Scroll up for me.
have sections, layout, append, ninja form, but I just don't have. It actually looked like there were other things you had too that I didn't have. Tags, categories.
All right, let me see. Scroll down to the bottom of this post.
I have the signature page here.
Yeah, you can put that back into the corner. No, don't minimize it. Yeah.
Yeah, there.
There you go. So you should have categories, tags.
Yep.
Signature options.
Yep.
Append a ninja form, layout, sections.
Yep.
It does not show that. Okay.
I think that's why I couldn't do it before, because it's like just somehow not available for me.
Okay. You're an administrator. I don't see why not.
I don't either. I don't know.
I mean, I'm a super admin. Maybe that's what it is. Hold on just a second.
You can
Maybe
do
what
it,
it
right?
is that you're not an admin of the main site.
Oh, that would make sense because it's technically publishing to the parent page.
Correct.
Right? Okay, that makes sense.
So let me see if I can find you because it should. Search users. No. Okay, so individual. Okay. I'm gonna add you. Yes, dear.
In the leaders chat.
There she is. Add an existing user. All right. Editor. Skip confirmation. Oh, we're fine. Adding an existing user. Okay. All right. Now hit refresh on that. Because that would make sense. I'm an administrator on everything. There it is. You got it.
Okay. And
that's
then
what it was.
Here it would be.
So in there, you would just want to make sure it's always broadcast to the last prophecy.
Right. And then do I uncheck this one? Link this post?
No.
Okay, just leave it.
Yep. It's saying that post in the WoW chapter is in fact the master, the parent, right? And then it's the children, right? So that has to stay checked. So if you go to where I'm currently editing, which refresh that because you should go back into World of Warcraft.
I just wanted to check that it actually worked this time. Okay, so
yeah,
here it is.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
It's showing.
Okay, where do you want me?
So if you go take over that one that you achievement raid team kicks off with. Sure. And let's see if you can see it now. See broadcast. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you're fine. Just make sure that those are clicked. And it was just a question. It was just an administration thing.
Perfect.
Okay. Quick question. I looked in leader chat. I don't see the link in there.
The link?
So where?
Chat.
Where?
What do you mean leader chat?
You had said you'd put a link to the WoW audit that I could use to do it before I did it. So I did it before midnight.
Oh, it's in your whispers.
Oh, it's in my whispers?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's private from Maria.
I don't have that either.
You don't have whispers?
I have a whisper. I have a whisper with Maria, but the last comment was 6 days ago.
Oh, that's where mine came from.
Fair enough. Okay. Anyway, I don't have the WoW audit link. It's not urgent. I can always look at
in the guild management. Okay. Let me see because I swear to you. Let me see. Maybe it's because you're on Laura. Yeah, you're on Laura.
Well, no, I'm looking from my private account on my phone doing this.
Okay, give me a second. Because it's going to be the same URL.
Okay, well.
Hold on a second. I got you. I got you. There.
Great, okay, I see.
Okay, perfect. Okay, all right. Any other questions?
No, just homework that I need to do.
Sorry. All right.
No, it's good. It's easy homework. It needs to be done.
All right. Okay, cool. So that's all I got.
So
Anybody else have any other questions? Jim Bob?
Nope.
Good. Tiz?
Good.
The Hack?
No.
Boston, good?
No, pretty good.
And Yagi, any?
No, I don't know anything.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So thanks so much for stopping by. Such late notice. I know. It was just I gotta get it in somewhere, and I gotta walk you guys through the onboarding as new people start coming in. So, I will be posting this on YouTube.
Carrie,
I'm sorry. Say what?
I did have something I wanted to chat with you guys about, which was this week. We had 4 people on vacation on the same day, which obviously was just like kind of bad luck. But I was wondering if we have any processes in place where those are being checked ahead of time, so people aren't like calling the raid when they're already in the instance, like at the boss.
Other than
Because
vacation,
it felt like we should have known that was going to happen before then. Does that make sense?
Yes. So we knew about Azure. He had messaged the leader team in the Mythic raid chat. And I think you have access to that as a leader, don't you?
Yeah, I think all 4 of them, right?
Yeah, it just never was consolidated and bubbled up. Like, did anybody realize it was happening?
Right. Like, is any one person accountable for making the decision ahead of time?
It's a raid lead, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I
it should
assumed
be.
it would be Koff, but I didn't want to, make that assumption because I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, basically, I check, should be on the spreadsheet. Like for example, in the Mythic raid chat, nature, but I'm missing raid tonight and Tuesday, going to be out of town. Yeah. So he was in the vacation tracker, right? And then Athena posted a day ahead, and said he was going to be absent for tomorrow's raid. That was not on the vacation tracker because that's just one day.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, as long as they give us enough notice. I mean, Koff really does kind of have to look through this and check. And for us, for attendance purposes, like really honestly, like if we are looking at the Olympian sign up and we see anything out of the ordinary there, like I feel like we should, this person signed off. Does Koff know about this? Does Hakkasan know about this? So, I think that's something that, we can do as officers, is just give this a quick look, see if anybody signed off, and kind of look through the Mythic raid chat, see who's missing. If we could get into the habit of that and just kind of, because it can be missed, right? So it can be missed.
Like not trying to track individual people following the policy of like submitting their absence ahead of time. I'm more saying like the totality of the raid. Like we knew that we were missing 6. We had the ability to know that we were missing 6 before we started. But it seemed like because people logged in, got to the instance, and got situated, that we didn't actually absorb all of that information as leaders to be able to make the decision to call the raid until we were like several minutes past start.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like that wasn't like a good use of everyone else's time.
I don't think calling the raid earlier would have been the move to make either.
Even with 6 gone.
It would have been better to just try to grab as many people as you could anyways.
What we've been doing potentially is we should have been trying. It was a fresh instance. We should have pulled in Pudge and started an hour before or whatever, half an hour.
I gotta tip
We
out.
didn't start advertising for it, and then we would have been waiting for a half an hour plus with everybody. That was the real. Like, I don't think we had to call it, but the point was we had to call it because we weren't prepared.
Yeah. No, I honestly at that point, I don't I don't really know of a better way.
What
you
if
know.
we just bugged it and then hopefully try to recruit the bug?
Yeah, I mean, like,
you know?
there
And
were
just
some
do
more
Vexy
valuable
and
things
Cauldron.
we could have done with the time. You know, we'd
but-
known ahead of time what we were doing, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not part of that raid, so it doesn't affect me. I'm just like noticing that if as a guild in general, we're trying to get more disciplined both directions about respecting people's time, then that was one situation where I felt like we had the data earlier than we used it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think again, I say just keep, as leaders, we should probably keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
And I'll let Hakkasan and Koff. You guys should be picking that up. Hakkasan, I know for you it's a little bit more difficult because like you basically put your kids down and then it's raid time.
Yeah, I mean, I touch base with Koff pretty much before every raid.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's just give it a quick look, guys, into the Mythic team. Like maybe,
Like I think the ultimate goal was to see if we could pug or like see who could like fill.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or we're gonna call it. We didn't want to just like waste a day.
Yeah.
Especially like in the progress.
Yeah, and pugging is really difficult right now. So
because
it was too many.
Too many, and I presume the assumption was too many, and it would take too long to get them.
Yeah.
Like we could have done 6 pugs, but I think it would have taken us.
It was the
We
Thursday too. Like by Thursday, bro, people have already done. They're locked. That's the problem with Mythic raiding. It's the raid lock. So it's not like pugs can be easily acquired.
True enough.
Yeah. It's different when it's heroic, right? Like we can pug all day.
Sure.
We got 30 slots to fill. So we can pug all day. So. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, so that's all I got. Thanks so much for the time. We've gone way over my original time in my head. So I will be posting this on our YouTube channel, but it will be unlisted. So, and then I'll post the link here because I know Koff would want to review it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for all your help. You guys have been, really killing it out there for me and just helping me so much. Just needed to kind of make sure, like I'm trying to, like all of these things that you guys are doing. I've basically been doing by myself.
Right.
Right. So I'm just trying to separate the tasks so it's not too overwhelming for any one person, So, so yeah. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. I will talk to you guys too.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.